Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, I'm glad you're here. Now, what we'll be doing today is doing a full review of the fragrance Blu Atlas Atlantis. So go ahead and roll my intro. We're gonna go ahead and get into this. All right, guys, this is the fragrance here. You're like, hold on. Didn't you already unbox this thing? Yes, I did. If you saw my first impressions of this is also another box. Listen, guys, you're not the only ones who saw that first impressions. Blu Atlas also saw it, and they stated that they stand by their product 100%, and they wanted to send me another bottle. So they sent me the bottle. They even sent it next day air. No cost to me or anything like that, and they wanted me to have the best experience. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox it for you guys and get into it. Hopefully we have a better experience today. All right, same presentation, nothing's changed there. They have the Blu Atlas card. Yeah, nothing's changed. Pretty sure all the boxes are standard like that. Nothing else is in here. They just sent me the fragrance, so I'm gonna get that unboxed, unwrapped. And if you guys saw my first impressions, you are probably already aware of what their bottle looks like. Their bottle actually is their boxes like this, and it opens up like so. So get this open for you, and you have the bottle presentation here. So this is Blu Atlas Atlantis. All right, so we do not have any smudge marks on here. Oh, let me go ahead and get my other bottle. Hold on. All right, so this is the other bottle, so you can already tell the difference. If you guys can see there, you can see some of the aluminum or metal or whatever you want to call it, whatever it is there. You can see it is exposed on the bottle, so there's some differences there. From me looking at it from behind, I can already tell that the right bottle here, my right, your left, the cap is slightly raised, slightly tilted up. All right, so you can already tell the difference there. Again, this bottle came with no smudges or anything like that. Guys, this is a total different presentation. I'm not going to be able to mix up the bottles. I'm like, oh no, you had to mix up the bottles. No, I'm not going to be able to mix up these bottles at all. So here we go. Let me turn the atomizer around. This is how I like to do mine. So you can tell already the difference. The difference is outstanding. Much better presentation. Much better presentation by the company. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start our review here. But what I'm gonna actually do, you're gonna see me in a next clip. I'm gonna actually test this out for another day or two, just to be sure the fragrance isn't any different. Actually, let me go ahead and spray that on camera before I clock off. Yep, wow, the atomizer's even better, guys. Look at that. Oh my gosh. You wanna see the difference in the atomizers? I'm gonna show you the difference. Yo, there's such a difference. Look at this. Beep. Yes, there's a difference. All right, they smell the same in the air, so I'm not expecting much difference in the scent. I mean, it's the same company after all, but I want to see if the performance is any different. So I'm gonna see you guys in a moment, and I'm back. All right, guys, so I'm ready to discuss exactly how I feel about Blu Atlas Atlantis. Now listen, guys, I've been paying attention to how that video has been performing in the past couple of days, and that was one of my worst performing videos over such a short amount of time. It doesn't really bother me any, for real. I'm just kind of letting you guys know somebody's been watching my videos. They didn't like how that video went. Out of all the videos I've done so far, it's been very interesting to see how that one's been performing. So I have the bottle here. I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the notes. Let's give it a fresh spray. All right, so Blu Atlas Atlantis starts off with top notes of bergamot, lemon, blackcurrant, lavender is in the middle notes. Clary sage, peach, and apricot. In the base notes, you have orris, oak moss, violet, and amberette seed, and musk. Now listen, guys, this fragrance opens up really fresh, fruity, slightly earthy with those like base notes of the musk and that oak moss. And guys, it has a very nice smell. This fragrance kind of reminds me of just kind of like sitting by like oceanside, kind of reminds me of a beach. It does kind of give you an essence of like being in a jungle. It kind of gives you like that earthy touch. But this fragrance has a nice cooling feel to it. And I believe that's coming from the clary sage and that lavender. It's just something very soothing about this fragrance. It does have a nice fruity touch in the heart notes with that apricot and the peach. You can't necessarily discern every single fruit that's there, but you can tell it is fruity. You can tell that there's some type of citrus in this fragrance with the bergamot and lemon. Guys, this melts together to become a very nice fragrance. And the fragrance pretty much stays the same in the opening and in the dry down. There's not much variation in this fragrance. Now guys, now let's go ahead and talk about the performance. And this is where it gets a little ugly. Now I'm ready to talk about this, and I am very disappointed with this fragrance. I wanted to give it another day or so, and I did. And I was very tempted to come back on camera to just go ahead and rip this thing to shreds, but I wanted to give it its due diligence. This fragrance does not perform at all on my skin. I've talked to somebody else that has this fragrance, and it doesn't perform on their skin either. So guys, listen, many of the reviews don't talk about performance at all. The smell is nice, but the performance is not very good at all. Now you get some good projection for about 10 to 15 minutes. After that, the fragrance quickly, for me, regresses to become a very skin-like scent. Your people, you know, that are across from you, not going to be able to smell this fragrance. I asked my wife if she could smell me. I walked by her several times. She had to get really close up to my neck to smell me. And guys, I sprayed myself several times. I sprayed myself on my neck, my arms, my clothing as well, and this thing just it doesn't perform. Clothing should, you know, help a fragrance out sometimes, and it doesn't help this one out. So it's not just my skin. As far as the projection, it's about 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops with a projection. After that, it becomes a skin scent. Now you're able to smell this fragrance around you every so often with up to like the 2 to 3 hour mark. And after that, the fragrance pretty much goes away. You have to bury your nose up to your skin to actually pick up the scent. And it's very unfortunate because the scent is nice. It is nice, and there's no knock on the scent at all. But the performance is just not it. So, cap. Now let's go ahead and talk about the character, guys. The character is slightly there with this fragrance. It has a very nice feel. Again, it has that jungle feel. It kind of reminds me of that body wash by Old Spice, Fiji. I don't even know if they still make that because I stopped using Old Spice just because of skin reactions with that stuff. But it kind of gives me vibes of Fiji, and I really love that smell, and it kind of brings me back to that a little bit. But the character is slightly there because it's kind of different for a fragrance in this genre. It's very aromatic, and with that oak moss, it kind of gives you like a nice earthy feel with this fragrance, which I do appreciate. But there is no transition with this fragrance. It's straight up linear. There's not much difference between the opening and the dry down. So if you're expecting something like that, that's all you're gonna get. Now let's talk about the appeal. Guys, this is a mass appealing scent. Now let's talk about, for me and frag heads, I don't believe this scent is going to appeal to us. We're really big on the performance of a fragrance, and if we can't really smell or enjoy a scent, then I think we're just not going to like it. And now for the general public that's just trying to spray something on that, you know, wants to smell nice and like, oh man, that smells pretty good, and I'm going about my day and they're not really thinking about their scent, then that might appeal to them. It's good for gym wear, like if you're going to the gym and you're not trying to choke anybody out, is very good for something like that. It's good for a work scent, but I wouldn't wear this thing on a date. I wouldn't wear it formally. This is just not a scent for those type of occasions. This is a unisex scent, I believe, due to the fruity nature that's in this fragrance. I believe it kind of trends that way, but it's definitely still a masculine scent for me. Guys, as far as seasons go, I would definitely just try to rock this during the spring and summer months, because during the winter time, here in Florida it's still in the 80s, but during the winter time I expect this thing not to perform at all. Value, given how the current market is with certain fragrances, if you go to big box stores, you know, if you go to the mall, you're paying for a fragrance, you're paying well over sometimes $100 for the fragrance for 100 ml. So with that said, this fragrance goes for $100 and sometimes you can get a discount. Even during Black Friday there was a 30% off code, so you can kind of get this fragrance for a cheaper price. Do I think this fragrance should be cheaper than what it is? Yes, but the fragrance bottle is nice. As long as you guys get a good quality bottle, has a nice magnetic cap. The first bottle I got did not work too well, as far as it's working right now, but if I pick it up from the cap, it doesn't work too well. Right now, this new one that I got works a lot better. You can pick it up from the cap. It does have a nice magnetic cap. I still would be, you know, work with the air of caution when picking it up from the cap. Usually I don't try to pick my bottles up from the cap, but occasionally I will. This is one I may still, you know, still pick it up from the actual body side of the bottle. So now let's talk about overall. Now let's put me aside for a second. Now let's focus on everybody else, the general public. This scent might be appealing for you guys. If this is something that if you don't care about, if you don't care about performance, if you don't care about transitions with the fragrance, having, you know, it being linear, not smelling like anything else, not having like a breakdown of anything. This has a slight uniqueness to the fragrance. And the bottle design, for me, if you like a matte black bottle design, I do like this, and a nice magnetic cap. You know, if you do appreciate those type of things, then, you know, this fragrance is for you. If you're looking for something fresh, something that makes you feel like you just jumped out of the shower, something that's not offensive, this fragrance is for you. And now, for me, this fragrance is not for me. I will probably be gifting these to somebody for the holiday. And not even in a gift wrapping paper. I was just like, here, take this. Here, take this one. Beware, though, of the atomizer on this one. But guys, this fragrance is just not for me. I don't want to beat down on it too much more than I already have. So I will go ahead and end my review here. But actually, let me give you my overall score. You thought I was going to forget about that. I almost forgot about it. Overall, my overall score is going to be a 6.5 out of 10. I'm just very disappointed. If I rate my scent 8 and above, this is definitely for me. Usually 8 is a like and 9 and above is a love. If I rate anything below a 7.5 and lower, that's just, you're not doing too well in my book. So I believe this fragrance is just, you know, it was hyped up. They pay for a lot of their reviews and pay for a lot of companies to publish reviews about their fragrances. So there is no FOMO with this one. Guys, I hope I helped you out with your decisions on purchasing Blu Atlas Atlantis. Until next time, I hope you guys are staying safe, smelling fresh. Deuces.